Coming up on News 11, a heartfelt Buffalo film makes its debut tonight. Amazon announces massive layoffs, and Hurricane Melissa moves through Jamaica. All of this and more. News 11 starts right now.
Good evening and welcome back to News 11. I'm Matt Volz.
And I'm Elaine Fink.
We have a lot of exciting stories to cover, so let's get started with your local news. The Village of Fredonia's recent water conservation order upon low levels of water in the reservoir has now been lifted. The water conservation order advised people to limit the use of water for cooking, drinking, bathing, and flushing toilets until the water reservoir levels return to a normal state. Village officials confirmed this past Friday that the reservoir has recovered to normal operating levels and are allowing water use to return to standard conditions. Fredonia Mayor Michael Ferguson thanked the village and water customers for their cooperation during this order and thanked community support for help the reservoir recover quickly.
The Fredonia Board of Trustees met this last week with representatives from the company that is set to log the Fredonia Reservoir to talk about their plans. Neil Walker of Bradford Forest said, quote, "There were some concerns about possible landslides on the property, which is a concern with the soil types up there," end quote. Walker added that next summer would likely be the driest and safest time to avoid landslides, but it would also be possible to begin work this winter with a hard freeze. Sam Burns, also of Bradford Forest, explained that the goal of the project is to remove the damaged and over-matured trees. An argument ensued between Burns and trustee Mitchell Twitchell, a staunch opponent of the logging plan project, for which it'll impact the local environment, culminating in a dispute over the definition of an important tree. Walker stated that they did not mark as many trees as the company Forcon did 4 years ago, only marking enough so that another harvest can happen in the 8 years.
The candidates for the Dunkirk Common Council attended a forum hosted by the League of Women Voters this past week. The current council has been discussing their interest in dissolving the treasurer as an elected position and asked the candidates their thoughts on the move if it is approved by voters. Most agreed that the position needed to be one held by a professional, someone that the council can approve their credentials beforehand in order to properly handle the fiscal affairs in Dunkirk. The candidates were also asked about merging the Dunkirk and Fredonia police forces. Second Ward Council candidate Colby Garza said he was for it as long as it is efficient and residents are not hurt. Another line of questioning was how they would use $5 million for the city. Fourth Ward candidate Michael Chivaletto said he would put it towards senior housing. The entire debate is available to view on the League of Women Voters of Chautauqua County's YouTube channel.
The leaders of the Seneca Nation are urging the state of New York to treat their people fairly and justly in the midst of a new negotiation contract. The Seneca Nation's casinos in Buffalo, Niagara Falls, and the Salmonalca operation operate more than 30 businesses and provide more than 8,000 jobs in Western New York and are currently working to renew a new gaming contract with the state of New York. The original gaming contract was signed back in 2002 and states that the Seneca Nation is required to pay 25% of the slot machine's revenue to the state of New York in exchange for exclusive gaming rights. The agreement has since expired, and they have seen operations under temporary extensions while negotiating a new deal. Seneca leaders are now expressing frustration over stalled negotiations, with the Seneca Nation President J.C. Seneca saying, quote, "It doesn't seem like they want to negotiate fairly anyway. And the way I look at it, they are certainly showing bad faith in regard to any type of discussion that we have been having, end quote. President Seneca has described the negotiation as a, quote, stagnating process, end quote, and has said that meetings have been regular, that meetings and gatherings of the Seneca community to gather ideas of what they want to include in the new compact, adding, quote, we want to be able to have a fair compact. We would certainly like to have some modifications from the last compact that we had. Nothing really out of line or serve, end quote.
Part of the I-90 East near Lackawanna was closed for hours this past Sunday due to a tractor-trailer accident. According to authorities, one of the trucks was fully engulfed in flames and the other was emitting heavy smoke. First responders arrived at the scene around 3:30 a.m., immediately closing both lanes of traffic. The left lane was reopened at 6 a.m., and the right lane did not reopen to traffic until around 4 p.m. It is still unknown what caused the crash. However, both drivers made it out of their vehicles safely with no injuries reported.
This past Sunday, an announcement for a new local documentary's world premiere has been announced. The film follows the story of local 9-year-old boy James Hughes Tillman and attorney Dan Lukaski finding unlikely friendship and community together against all odds. The documentary is called Travels with George, a journey through depression, connection, and friendship. The two first met through Buffalo's East Side St. Luke's mission while both were experiencing great adversity in their lives. George did not grow up with his father, and his grandfather had passed away around the time he and Dan met. Dan was experiencing troubles with his mental health and was suffering with depression. The two lifted each other up throughout the hard times in their lives and stuck together as best friends for over a decade. The film highlights their stories and begins awareness of the impact of mental health. If you are interested in supporting the film, there will be a screening Wednesday, October 29th at the UB Center of the Arts. For more information on the viewing, visit www.travelswithgeorgefil.com.
New affordable housing units are coming to Buffalo in the form of the former Millard Fillmore Gates Circle Hospital. 3 of the buildings within the complex will be converted into 80 housing units. Belmont Housing Resources are heading the $34 million project. Brad Packard, Belmont Housing CEO, said their salary range for prospective tenants will be 30% to 80% of the area's median income. Packard realizes the effects of inflation and the dire state of the housing market and how that is preventing the people of Western New York from finding somewhere affordable to live. Construction started last September, and according to those on the job, they are about 60% of the way through the build. The majority of what remains is finishing work such as painting, flooring, and furnishing. They hope to bring life, diversity, and stability in the Gates Circle neighborhood. The project is expected to be completed by July of 2026, and more specific unit pricing and information is expected to release in January of 2026.
Niagara County is taking no chances this winter after last year's rock salt shortage causing major concerns. The county and local towns, including Wheatfield, have already stocked up early to avoid running out when the snow arrives. Highway Superintendent Paul Siegeman said they came close to running out last winter. Siegeman went on to explain, quote, "Our 12 towns in the county, if somebody was totally out of salt, we would share salt with them," end quote. County Highway Commissioner Richard Siena said supply issues last year prompted officials to order hundreds of extra tons this season. The New York State Office of General Services also updated its contract to improve supplier reliability and prevent delays. Officials say these steps will help keep roads safe and drivers moving through the 2025 winter season. And when we return, we will have your national stories. We will be right back.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other.
On a deeper level.
Father.
Cosplayer.
Mentor.
Actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
And discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
As of last week, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has reported nearly 2,000 confirmed cases of measles, a new time high in the last 25 years. Measles has spread across the nation in isolated communities at an alarming rate starting last February. The center of this outbreak started in Gaines County, Texas, where there are roughly 500 cases. Measles was declared eliminated in the U.S., but has now managed to survive and resurface. Measles mainly targets unvaccinated adults and children who are too young to get the vaccine. The outbreak has killed roughly 99 adults and 2 unvaccinated children. Measles is one of the most contagious viruses out there and can leave patients with permanent damage to the brain.
Recent reports have indicated that Amazon plans as many as 30,000 corporate job layoffs beginning earlier this week. According to a survey submitted by the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, Amazon has over 350,000 corporate employees. Propelled by advances in artificial intelligence, these job cuts would make up to 10% of the company's total corporate workforce. In a blog post to employees in June, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said that advances in artificial intelligence would eventually allow the company to reduce its human workforce. A previous round of cutoffs of jobs in 2023 removed 27,000 workers from various departments, including web services and human resources. At the time, these cuts were attributed by Jassy to a worsening global economy output. For months, the U.S. job market has been showing warning signs, especially in the tech industry, as a result of widespread concerns that generative AI could eventually replace human workers.
On Monday, the police of Baltimore County in Maryland handcuffed and searched a high school student. Kenwood High School has a security system run by AI that detects if any person walks through with a firearm. The AI system flagged an empty bag of Doritos the student had as a firearm. Taki Allen, the high school student flagged, was waiting for a ride home after football practice when the police came. Allen said, quote, "They made me get on my knees and put my hands behind my back and cuffed me," end quote. About 8 police cars responded to the scene, leaving Allen very distressed. He also stated, quote, "The first thing I was wondering was I about to die because they had a gun pointed at me," end quote. Soon after this, the Kenwood School's security department canceled the gun alert when it was determined there was no threat to the school. Baltimore County Councilman Izzy Pataka responded to the incident by calling the school to, quote, "review procedures around its AI-powered weapon detection system," end quote. Another Baltimore County Councilman, Julian Jones, also called for a review of the security system. Superintendent Rogers of the school said, however, quote, reviewing the system is part of our regular practice, end quote.
President Trump recently received an MRI scan after a recent trip to the Walter Reed National Military Medical Base. This visit marks his second trip of the year, swaying away from the traditional president cadence of one single comprehensive exam per year. This past summer, the White House announced President Trump was examined for swelling in his leg, which was the result of chronic venous insufficiency, a condition which causes certain valves in veins to not work the way they should, resulting in blood pooling or collecting in the veins. Treatment for chronic venous insufficiency includes medication as well as later stages of medical procedures. Trump, who is now 79 and the oldest sitting president in U.S. history, has declined to say why he has received the MRI, telling reporters, quote, ask the doctors, and if I didn't think it was going to be good, either I would let you know neglectfully, I wouldn't run. I do something, but the doctor said some of the best reporters for the age, some of the best reports they've ever seen, end quote.
Candy prices are once again disappointing to anyone looking to purchase treats for themselves and trick-or-treaters. Cocoa bean prices are still on the rise, and more consumers are grabbing gummy candy off the shelves instead to save money. Candy producers are trying to find ways to make these chocolate treats more affordable, which often means smaller pieces of candy or less cocoa in each piece. According to market analysts, candy is 10.8% more expensive this year than it was last year. The increase in price comes not just from higher labor prices and chocolate as a growing commodity, but the tariffs put in place by President Trump, causing businesses to raise prices as well. The tariffs impact other parts of the production process, such as the aluminum for wrappers. In 2024, American consumers spent $7.4 billion on Halloween treats, and it is unclear what that figure will look like for 2025 in the current economical climate. And when we return, Gwen Kirkwood joins us for the first time with our sports update, and we'll have your first look at weather. We'll be right back.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
When you think of the local lowdown, what do you think of?
Well, when I think of the local lowdown, it's the live music that we have played in the studio.
It's gotta be the laughs we shared. The memorable moments during the whole thing. Oh my God, so fun.
The local lowdown for me is the people behind the scenes, the amazing team that we have making the show.
Oh, it's gotta be exploring all sorts of genres and music I've never heard before.
Oh, easy. Going out to shows and talking to artists and getting the latest news on what they have planned for the future.
It's about these artists, man. Giving them a platform to showcase what they've worked so hard on and show their music to the community. It's all about supporting the local scene of music to keep it running for years to come. And of course, the band merch. You can't forget about the merch.
We're now joined by Gwen, who will be giving us our weekly sports update. What's going on in sports, Gwen?
Thank you, Matt. Fredonia sports have been having an excellent week. Women's soccer have clinched a home playoff spot secured last Wednesday in their 5-0 win against SUNY Morrisville. They also won this past Saturday against Oswego State 2-1, with both goals scored by freshman McKenna Smars. The Lady Blue Devils face Oswego State this Saturday at 1 p.m. Men's soccer have clinched a playoff spot as the number 6 seed after their win against SUNY Morrisville, 5-2, last Wednesday, with goals scored by Freddie Butler, Chance LaCroix, Brennan Adams, Sam Evans, and senior captain Kyle Castillo. The Devils also played this past Saturday, where the final score came to a 0-0 tie against Oswego State. November 1st, the Devils are on the road to take on the Cardinals of Plattsburgh State at 2 p.m. Volleyball is also slated to be a playoff spot in the SUNYAC Conference, secured with their win against Plattsburgh last Saturday, winning 3-1. This Friday and Saturday, the Blue Devils take on the Red Dragons of SUNY Oneida. Fredonia hockey is back. The boys kick off their season this Friday with a Halloween home opener against SUNY Potsdam. Puck drop is set at 7 p.m. and 4 p.m. on Saturday up in Orchard Park, and the Bills had a much-needed win on Sunday in Florida against the Panthers. The final score was 40-9. James Cook ran for a career high in 216 yards and 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen accounted for 3 scores and improved to an 8-0 following the bye week, and established an NFL record by becoming the first player to run and throw a touchdown in 46 games. The Sabres have been playing hockey. Last Friday, the Sabres faced the Toronto Maple Leafs, coming out on top with a 5-3 win, and on Saturday fell in overtime 3-4. The Sabres are slated to play the Boston Bruins tomorrow at 7 p.m. And now I'll hand it back over to Matt for our weather forecast. What do you have for us, Matt?
Thanks, Gwen. Today we saw an average fall day with sunny skies and a high of 58 degrees. As we head into the afternoon tomorrow, we will start to see some clouds, and at night we will see the temperature drop down to a low of 42 degrees with a 62% chance of some showers. The rain will continue throughout the night and into Thursday. We will have cloudy skies on and off with rain with a high of 50 throughout the day. We may see some thunder, and as we head into the night, we will continue to see some rain showers with a low of 42 degrees. You may need your umbrella for trick-or-treating, so stay tuned for our weekend weather update. And when we return, we will have your international headlines. We'll be right back.
To Sofia and Gabriel, mis flores, my little flowers. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love, so you can take me with you wherever you go, near or far. These stitches and threads join us together. Me, your mother, and both of you. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Hurricane Melissa has escalated to a Category 5 hurricane while going through Jamaica and continues to strengthen. The hurricane arrives from the south of Jamaica and is currently moving towards Cuba this morning. Currently, the storm has winds up to 175 miles per hour while entering through the Caribbean. Experts say that Hurricane Melissa has a chance of becoming as strong as Hurricane Katrina. While these winds are devastating, the flooding is potentially the worst part of the hurricane. The island is currently looking at a high of 40 inches of rain, which is expected to cause massive landslides, flooding, and mudslides. The coast of Jamaica are at the highest risk of flooding, as the winds are likely to cause the coastline to rise by 13 feet. There is a small chance that the hurricane will curve to hit the east coast of Florida, so keep an eye out for any of our viewers.
Mexican journalist Miguel Angel Beltran, who reported on drug cartels, was found dead Saturday on a highway with a note beside his body. Beltran's body was wrapped in a blanket on a highway connecting Durango State to Mazatlan, a city in the cartel-plagued Sinaloa state. The outlet reported that the journalist was identified by his son, who last saw him on Thursday when they left for work. A note was discovered next to his body that reportedly read, quote, "For spreading false accusations against the people of Durango," end quote. According to local media, Beltran had worked for various media outlets, including Contexto. He also operated a blog and TikTok account where he covered crime-related news and other topics. Several days before his death, he posted a video on TikTok about the arrest of a suspected gang leader. Beltran is the 9th journalist to have been killed in the country this year, the organization says. The Inter-American Press Association condemned Beltran's death and urged authorities to, quote, "ensure that his murder does not go unpunished," end quote.
On Monday, 10 people went on trial in Paris accused of online harassment over what prosecutors determined as malicious comments about the French First Lady Brigitte Macron's gender and sexuality. The case comes after an August 2024 legal complaint filed by the First Lady's lawyer for cyberbullying, leading to 2 waves of arrests in the beginning of this year. Investigations identified multiple claims about Brigitte Macron's sexuality and gender, in addition to comments describing the age difference between the president and the First Lady as pedophilia. The Macrons filed a similar defamation lawsuit against right-wing podcaster Cadence Owens in the U.S. state of Delaware over claims that Brigitte Macron could be a man. In March, Owen received a conspiracy theory when she spotted a video to YouTube entitled, quote, "Is France's First Lady a woman?" end quote. The video was part of what the lawsuit claims is a, quote, relentless year-long campaign of defamation against the Macrons, end quote. Owens has further publicized the theory on X, and she has since posted many more videos with claims against the French First Lady to her 4.5 million YouTube subscribers. The current trial is expected to last 2 days. And after the break, a look at our Miss USA, an update on Kim Kardashian, and a look at the Oscars. We'll be right back.
We've been down there. You gotta do the same. Post office. All you do is sign. So don't get nervous. Sign your name. Most executive service. It takes no time. Just sign on the line at the post office. Most executive service.
Hey guys, if you're about to turn 18, you've got to register with Selective Service.
It's simple. Just go down to the post office, fill out a card, and turn it in. That's all there is to it. There's no draft now. You're just adding your name to Selective Services list in case there's a national emergency.
So if you're 18 now, Selective Service, you gotta get down to the post office.
Register with Selective Service. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
Takes no time, just sign on the line at the post office. Selective Service.
The 23-year-old Audrey Eckert from Nebraska was crowned Miss USA this past weekend. She wrote on her Instagram saying, quote, "Nebraska, we did it," end quote. After the pageant, Victoria K.R. Telvey, current Miss Universe winner, crowned Eckert on Friday evening. 2024 Miss USA winner Alma Cooper could not be at the competition to, quote, "pass down her crown and sash," end quote. Since Eckert was crowned as Miss USA, she will now move on to the Miss Universe competition in Bangkok, Thailand on November 21st.
With the release of Season 7 of The Kardashians on Hulu, Kim Kardashian spoke about the aneurysm she suffered in the past months. She is seen in first episode going to get an MRI with her head bandaged. The star revealed she has a long going on with filing her divorce to her ex-husband Kanye West. Law school and testifying in court for a robbery she was a victim of years ago. Kim also shared that her sororities has since returned since working through the legality of her divorce. She is most worried for her children that she shares with West, but reminds viewers that unfortunately she will always be in her life. And on top of it all, we see scenes of her hitting the books as she finishes up her law studies.
With only 3 months left of the 2025, the Oscar nominations are making their way. From Best Picture to Best Actor and Actress, a list of nominees has been started to comply. Many potential contenders for Best Picture being yet to have hit the big screens, such as Marty Supreme, Hamnet, and Wicked for Good. Other potential nominees including one battle after another with a current score of 95 on both Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. Other potential nominees include Cynthia Erivo, Emma Stone, Jennifer Lawrence, and Julia Roberts for Best Actress, and Leonardo DiCaprio, Wagner Moura, Jeremy Allen White, as well as Michael B. Jordan and Dwayne Johnson for Best Actor. As we see out the end of 2025, we'll see the list of potential nominees for the Oscars expand. Now I'll toss it to Elaine one more time tonight for the end of the weekend weather. How's it look, Elaine?
Thank you, Matt. Friday will be another chilly day with a high of 49 degrees. We will have cloudy skies throughout the day and a 74% chance of rain. As we head into the night, it will drop down to 41 degrees and we will see those showers disappear, but the cloudy skies continue. Saturday, we should be clear of the rain with only a 39% chance. The morning will have cloudy skies with a high of 48 degrees, and those clouds will increase as we head into the night with a low of 39 degrees. And on Sunday, we will continue to have those cloudy skies with a high of 49. There is a 24% chance of rain later on in the day, but as we head into the night, those clouds will stick around with a low of 40 degrees. And that's all from me. That's all we have for our weather this week.
Thank you so much, Elaine. That does it for News 11. Thank you to our behind-the-scenes crew. We'll be back next week.
And as always, thank you to everyone watching at home. Have a great night.